Good afternoon, friends. Once again, Prashant Ajmera is live on a YouTube channel with respect to the how to plan for your child education, for an education in 2020. We are all passing through the very difficult time, and during this difficult time, we also feel very worried about our children's and their futures. What is going to happen to them about their study abroad or study even in India, and how they will. Be involved with their educations, uh, whether they will get an admissions or not. So that's the reasons I thought of putting up this seminar together and go on live and give you some insights and some of the informations which I would like to share with you. So since last 4 or 5 days, I've been doing this live webcast for the study abroad, and today we're going to talk about doing the MBA, particularly doing an MBA in a foreign country. So if you want to do an MBA in a foreign country, so first let's understand that how the education system works in a different country. When you are looking at the different country, the MBA program is 17 year of an education. So 12 year of an education here in India, then you have a 3 years or 4 years of bachelor's degree, and then you have a 1 or 2 years of an MBA. So by the time you finish your MBA or a master's degree, you have uh, 17 years of total educations. And when you are having this 17 years of an education, you get your master's degree. Now, as you know that when the MBA program started many years back, masters in business management was the only core thing was there, that it was related to the only business management. But over the period of time, these things has changed, and now, as we all know, that the MBA is available in a variety of programs, variety of disciplines in HRs, into the engineering fields, into the general management, marketing, sales, you name it, and public services, you name it, and you have a MBA program or master's program from all over the world. Typically, what we have seen a trend in India, that as soon as the person or a student finishes the bachelor's degree, they would like to go abroad for a study for an MBA immediately without any work experience. In my humble opinion, I believe that if you are really interested in doing the higher studies in an MBA in a good university, good education institute like in America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, then you should have at least 2 to 3 years of an experience. If you have this 2 to 3 years of an experience in your home country, and then if you apply for a particular MBA program, chances of you getting an admissions into a better school is much higher. Just getting an MBA into any universities or a college, which could be into the sales or marketing or HR, because you want to study abroad, it's not going to help. Because remember that to study and for an MBA in a foreign university is a very expensive affair. And if you are not sure that what type of an MBA you should do it, whether it should be in general management, whether it should be in HR, it should be sales, or it should be marketing, or it could be public services, doing an MBA in a foreign country doesn't serve a purpose, because after spending so much time, money, and energy, you feel that wish I would have done something else. So that's why I generally advise to all my clients and students who come to me for an advice that when you wish to do an MBA after your bachelor's degree in India, please take a 2 years of an experience. But I know the parents and children, they are all in a hurry to study abroad. But I have seen the top universities in America, in Canada, in Australia, New Zealand, they always like to have students with some kind of an experience, who has a maturity level. He is aware of the certain market, and he knows that why he wished to do specific MBA program in their education institute or in their university. Second thing is that when you do an MBA without a work experience, then what happens? Because in an MBA, in my opinion, uh, the way in which the formats of the education system of an MBA works in most of the country is by a group study. So you are given a topic where you discuss the topic amongst your uh, students or fellow students in a class, and based on this you decide, you prepare your project and present it to the your teachers or a tutor, whoever is there. Now, say for example, you have about 30 students in your class. There is a group of about 6 or 7 groups are there of each one of 4 or 5 students, and in that class, except you, all of them has come with the experience. If they have come with the experience and they are with the experience, if they are coming, then they are providing or they are showing their experience and input in their assignment. Whereas if you are without experience, what kind of inputs you can give in solving certain problems? Because in an MBA class, generally you are giving some kind of a live situations or a real life situations, whether it's a sales, whether it's a marketing, whether it's an HR, general management, and then you need to resolve it or solve it and make it like a presentations that if this situation arises, how will you arrange it? So with the experience, if you go, then at least you know that you have a problems, you find a try rather to try to find a solution for it. And that's what MBA is all about, that you have some experience, you have faced some real life problems in your work situations, in your business, and now doing an MBA, you're trying to find a better solution, better process, better way of working or motivating the people, whatever it may be. So, without an experience doing an MBA, I think it's a kind of a waste. Even my own daughter, when she finished her bachelor's degree in Canada, she wanted to do a master's or a law. She took a 2 years of an experience in a law firm to just to decide whether she should do a law or she should go for public policies and international management. And then after 2 years of working in a law, she realized that, okay, law is not something for me. I would like to go into a public service and international policies. And then she finished her master's degree. And now she is very happy with the job with the government of Canada. So again, coming back to an MBA, that's the first thing you should do it. Plus the MBA, while you are doing an MBA, obviously the English language is very important aspect. And if you are going for an USA, GRE and GMAT is also an important or necessary exam to do it for the graduate record examinations, and GMAT, which is for your MBA. You should take that one very seriously if you wish to go into the top MBA college or means a university in America, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand. Some of the MBA universities are not asking for this exams, but you have to make sure that you have this course well in advance. And if you work and you try to obtain the work experience in India, just don't try to do it to just to get an experience and show it to the university. My advice would be, seriously, you should go out and work. If you go out and work in the real life in India, then you will come to know that whether you want to do an MBA in which area: sales, marketing, general management, HR, or it could be a public policies, it could be any other field of management which is available out there. I had one of my lawyer friend who has done a management for an NGO, MBA for an MBA, and he's in America, and he came to in India to take a practical training working with the NGO in India. So even at, and he's aged 60 years old, and he decided to do an MBA into the for the, an NGO. So unless and until you have a work experience, how you're going to contribute in your class in your MBA? Because that experience, what you have it, would be very very useful to understand and to basically get the most out of your MBA degree. Because as you know that doing an MBA in America or Canada, Australia, New Zealand, in any Western country is not cheap. It's very, very expensive. So if we are trying to do an MBA, we have to take into considerations that have a work experience in your home country. And with that you go. And then you should have a very serious focus about why you wish to do it, because you will be required to write SOP or statement of purpose. When you are writing a statement of purpose for your admissions, they would like to see that as a student, how much you are focused on your study or an MBA, and then only you will be in a position to get an admission. I know I have seen some of the family members, some of the clients and relatives that they have gone to do an MBA in America, in Canada, in UK, and after finishing the MBA, they have done it in a general MBA in management or general MBA into the sales and marketing, but they never liked those kind of a job, and they are into completely different field. So you can imagine that after spending so much money and doing the higher studies, you are not sure that what kind of an area you would be going. So you just took an MBA course because you wanted to study abroad. So keep it in mind that before you do your MBA or a master's program, make sure that you have an experience and then why you wish to do that particular MBA. Do not choose the MBA just because you want to get out of India or you want to study abroad. That's number one. Number two, uh, the most of the agent and consultants are advising you to take an admission into PGDBM, post graduation diploma in management. Uh, Please do not do this because post graduation diploma in management is not a proper university master's degree or university MBA. This is 2 years of programs after the 12th standard, but it is described as a post-graduation diploma in management, and many students and parents make the mistakes of choosing this program as MBA in America or MBA in Canada. Uh, Most of the clients who are coming to me, they tell me that, oh, my children are doing, or my son or my daughter is doing an master's or an MBA in Canada. When I ask them the college name, they give me a college name like probably a Seneca College or Sheridan College or Humber College, and so many such colleges. They give me a name, and then I have to tell them very straightforward in their face that, sir, your child is not doing an MBA in a university, is just doing it in a college, which is basically a certificate course or a diploma after the 12th standard. Admission requirement for that is only a 12th standard in Canada, in America, in Australia. But because it is a cheap, admission is readily available, the intake into this colleges is 3 to 4 times in a year, in September, in January, in April, in June. And students are desperate to get out of their home country. They take an admission just one after the another because they missed the September. Let's try for January. They missed the January. Let's go for an April. And by doing this one, they are ending up in a college or an university. I mean, in a college where after reaching there, they realize it that, oh, we have made a mistake. Rather than university, we are into a college. So after finishing my bachelor's degree, now I'm doing a diploma. And again, they are trying to learn a very basic things. Most of the students who 90% of the students are making these mistakes, that because this post-graduation diploma is available at the very economic rate, because the fees are only 13 to $14,000 per year, whereas the university fees can be as high as 25 to $35,000, and in American universities could be as high as 50 to $75,000. The parents choose this program of post graduation diploma into a college, which is obviously much cheaper, but you are not getting the right thing. You believe that your child is going to do a master's, but this is not a master's program. This is the biggest missell or misrepresentation is made by the immigration agent and consultants across India. All over the India, this PGDBM is basically spoiling the life of our children. That they are going with the big hope that they are going to do masters in Canada or in America, in Australia and New Zealand, and what they are getting is basic a certificate course or a diploma, which is after the 12 standards. Like we have a polytechnic in engineering, like a diploma in engineering, or when which you are studying at the at the polytechnic colleges. The similar kind of things you are going to do it. Can you imagine that after doing a 4 years or 3 years of bachelor's in university in India, now you are going again back to do 2 years of diploma in Canada, in America, in Australia, and to study there, thinking that this is a master's program. Every students, not a one, but every students realizes after reaching there in a 1 month time or 2 months time that I made a mistake. Unless the student is really, really, you can say, not a good student or default student, they are fine because they think that okay, anyway, we wanted to get out of India and we want to just get an immigration, and then we'll see what happens. But my worry is about the good students, serious students who wish to, who are very good at study, who wish to make a good career, who wish to study at the good education institute. Do not believe that post graduation diploma is MBA from a university. If your education institute name includes college, check not once, twice, 3 times on their website that is it really a master's degree? Because it says on the each college's website that this is not a master's program. If it is for a 1 year, it will show or it will tell you that it's a certificate program. If it is 2 years, then it will say it's a diploma. And if it is 3 years, it will say advanced diploma. Now, what happens in many a times, how the life is ruined. I'll give you a very classic example. Let's take an example of a mechanical engineer who wants to do an MBA in Canada. And now he has finished a 4 years of degree in this July. In this September, some agent would be in a position to send him to a Seneca College or any college in Canada to do a post-graduation diploma in management. So it has nothing to do with engineering, but it's related to an MBA. So he thinks that I'm now doing a master's in means MBA in Canada. When he comes there, then he realizes that wow, this is not a master's program, but this is a college program where the admission requirement is only 12 standards. So he spends the 2 years not related to the engineering, but to study about doing the management courses. So 4 years he studied for an engineering, 2 years he's doing a basic understanding of the management courses. After that, now he is entitled for a 3 years of work permit. And when he applies for a job, the employer is looking at his resume or his emails or whatever he has sent it to the employer. He says, well, you've done an engineering. Now you've done a 2 years of a post-graduation diploma or at a college level. And now you are looking for a job. Can you tell me what exactly you want in a life? Means obviously he's not going to tell you on face, but he sees that this guy has no idea what the hell he is doing in his life. He is basically doing an engineering, then he is doing an MBA at the college level, which is again and again I'm repeating at the after the 12th, and now he is looking for a job with me. So these students are finding it very, very difficult to get a job because there is no compatibility between these two. And then he works in an odd job for 3 years. So 4 years of your bachelor's degree, 2 years of study in Canada, and then 3 years of odd job. Four and 2, 6 and 3, 9 years of your life has passed, and still you are not entitled to your immigration in that country because you made a wrong choice. You were in a hurry. You didn't take the advice from a proper person. You went on a Google or you went to any agents. Remember, these agents are not there to give you an advice. These agents are there to send a maximum number of students to a college where they get the maximum commission. They are selling it like an insurance policy. Even if you insist them that where they can get an admission into a university, they will, one classic example, and then close my talk because it's already at 20 minutes. I had a one student came to my office just last year. She was a board second in commerce all over in Gujarat. She was a board second ranking. Number two, she had a big pictures and everything, coming from a very, very wealthy family. And she went to one of the top immigration agent or a consultant in Ahmedabad city. Thought that, okay, we'll go to this. Girl knew that she wanted to study in a university in Canada, but that particular agency made him to work or study at the one of the college, Algonquin College in Ottawa in Canada. As soon as she arrived there, she realized that this is not what I wanted to study. She wanted to have a bachelor's degree in commerce in Canada, and after that, she wanted to become a chartered accountant or the cost accountant or a company secretary in Canada. Rather than that, what happened is that with the bad advice of this agent, she ended up doing a 2 years diploma in commerce, which has a no value either in Canada or in India, and she was crying like anything. Now, the difficulty was that she wanted to stay in Canada because she liked the life and everything. Because she was coming from a commerce background and because she had a no work experience or anything, she had a no choice. But because after 2 years she wanted to work in Canada, the only job she can get was to work as a manager or a shift manager in Pizza Hut in Ottawa. So she could not work there because she's coming from a very wealthy family, very good family, and she wanted to stay in Canada. Now parents could not do anything about it, and basically the life got kind of disturbed. Not I would say ruined, but disturbed. So what advice I had to give her? Said we cannot do anything. You have been given a very bad advice. But I said, look, take this 2 years of your time working in Pizza Hut as your learning experience, because even the Pizza Huts, McDonald's, I have worked in Pizza Huts and McDonald's when I was studying in Canada and in UK. They can be a very good institute for learning the basics of the management, time management, and how the coordinately this big organization is running. You can see them working at the store level, and there is a lot of things to be learned. So try to learn this during your 2 years period of time as a shift manager in Pizza Hut, and learn whatever you can learn, maximum amount of things. And after that, uh, get your immigrations in Canada. Once you get your immigrations, you can go back to a university and try to get your bachelor's degree and get your become a chartered accountant in Canada and make your dream true. So this is the advice I had to give it to her, and she was kind of unsatisfied with that answers, and she went back to Canada and continued doing these things. So thank you very much, guys. This is the only time we have it for. I have taken a very long time, almost 24 minutes I have taken. But once again, thank you very much. And tomorrow again, I'll come back and share a few more cases and talking about the if you want to do a research work in Canada or in other countries out of India, then how you can do it. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's number one. Please give your feedbacks. How did you like about this one? You can send your questions or anything you have it related to the study abroad. You will be more than welcome to do it. And also, we connect with us with our all the social media. Where means YouTube is already there. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram is there. So please connect on that one, and it's all hashtag slash Ajmera Law Group. That's the our social media of any social media you want to reach is there. Because of you are coming and talking to me now, even we have our designated URL for YouTube. So it's a YouTube slash Ajmera Law Group. That's our new URL for the YouTube as well. We're going to come up with my book, which is how to plan for your child's educations. Due to this coronavirus, we could not release this book, but most probably, as the things get settled, we will release this book, and we'd like to do it either online or an offline. And we will be giving away this book to our viewers and subscribers who are very interactive with us. So look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much once again for your time. See you tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning. Thank you. Bye, guys.